luxury is really used to like catering to older audiences, people who are really used to spending large amounts of money. But I think now with all the technology and the advances that we're having, the social media, there's a lot of interest in the Gen Z community. And a lot of people are really like researching on this topic. And I've read a lot of articles about the power of Gen Z and how Gen Z are really having the bigger consumption power compared to what the same age group were having a decade ago. Because what a 15-year-old is purchasing now is completely different to what a 15-year-old like me was purchasing.
Welcome to the E-commerce Toolbox Expert Perspectives, a podcast by Noibu, where we explore the elite strategies and cutting-edge insights with our expert guests. Get ready to propel your e-commerce business to the next level.
Welcome to another episode of the E-commerce Toolbox Experts Perspective. Joining us today, we have a luxury retail expert joining us all the way from the Middle East. So really excited for this episode. So welcome, Ghiwa.
Thank you for having me.
Always like to start off by asking a bit more about how you ended up in your role. Obviously, you're in an e-commerce role at Fendi. You have a consulting background. Maybe talk to us a bit about your career journey so far and how you ended up at Fendi.
So basically, I started off my career. I was working in a small startup. It was an e-commerce startup where we were selling like beauty products, perfume. It was really like right after college, I started working in this very small company. After that, I was really like more on the digital space, more on the technical side of the website, handling uploads, content. So after that, I received an opportunity to work in consulting. But I was like more of a digital consultant. So we were working really with government entities on making sure that we're offering a good digital customer experience for citizens, all different types of users. So really consulting, but more on the digital side. And after that, I went back a little bit to e-commerce. So I was working in one of the biggest groups in Middle East. Chalhoub Group is really a big partner for a lot of huge luxury brands worldwide. So they are the local partners for them in the Middle East. And I was part of their main e-commerce department. So I was working on different websites for different luxury brands. And really Fendi was an opportunity that presented itself to me while I was working in this role in Chalhoub Group, because also Fendi are a joint venture with Chalhoub in the Middle East. So it was really like more of a shift, but not a big one for me, because really I was just in the same building, but a different company. And it was really a great opportunity for me to really start my career in the luxury market, and especially in the e-commerce space.
Cool. I mean, that's really awesome. And it sounds like you graduated not too long ago. So maybe talk to us a bit about how you've been looking at Gen Z when it comes to e-com and how you folks are thinking about marketing to Gen Z and all of that. I'm curious about that.
I think Gen Z are a very new audience, especially for the luxury market. Because really luxury is really used to like catering to older audiences, people who are really used to spending large amounts of money. But I think now with all the technology and the advances that we're having, the social media, there's a lot of interest in the Gen Z community, and a lot of people are really like researching on this topic. And I've read a lot of articles about the power of Gen Z and how Gen Z are really having this bigger consumption power compared to what the same age group were having like a decade ago. Because what a 15-year-old is purchasing now is completely different to what a 15-year-old like me was purchasing. And they're really having a bigger role in the luxury market specifically. Where, of course, they're not big spenders, but they are powerful spenders, and they're really getting smarter. So they're really interested in what the brand stands for, whether we're sustainable or not, what kind of values we have, who is representing the brand, what kind of celebrities we partner with. So they're really smart in this particular, really understanding what a luxury brand is, and how they really care about how trendy it is. They really want to show it off on social media with their friends. So to be in that game and to stay to be like a trending brand is becoming increasingly hard, and it's becoming really hard for any brand really to stand out in front of this new generation, because they're really expecting a lot from brands. And of course, like as I said, they're not big spenders, but they're really influencing a lot of the hype around the brand. And whatever they're purchasing, it might be like a small, the average order value might be smaller, of course. But they're really changing the game in terms of how luxury brands are really targeting their audiences, and becoming like the market is basically becoming more and more competitive in that sense.
No, that's awesome. And obviously, as you mentioned, Gen Z is having a big influence. They're also leaving a larger digital footprint online, meaning they're using multiple social medias. They're very, very comfortable with that. So maybe talk to us a bit about when it comes to actually marketing towards them and personalizing experiences. How are you thinking about leveraging digital footprint and data to actually generate a more personalized and better experience for not only those users, but every customer in general?
I think that's a really big topic, because really understanding data has become really like complex, because we have so much data now, but it's really about how we can analyze it and really understand it. When it comes to Gen Z, I think like it's very important for us to understand what they're posting about, what they're interested in, and to be able to see like this data and to tackle it is becoming like you really need data experts to understand what Gen Z really are interested in, because we see like a lot of trends on social media, on TikTok, but we really want to understand like what makes something trendy, like what are people looking at and are interested in. And of course, we have a lot of tools like Google Analytics, where we can see like what were the top viewed products on a certain website, or where our main audiences are coming from. So I think for me, working on a day-to-day basis, for me, it's very important to understand who are our audiences and from which channel are they being redirected to. So if they're coming from TikTok or from Snapchat or from Instagram, it's like a completely different audience. And usually what we see is that certain platforms have a certain age range, and certain countries use certain platforms more than others. Like, for example, in the Middle East, we really see a lot of people using Snapchat and KSA more than any other country in the Middle East. So it's really important to cater to this audience through the channels that they are using the most. So that's why looking at data and understanding where your traffic is coming from is really important, so that you can really cater your campaigns and whoever you are targeting in the right way. And I think AI is really helping us in that sense, because with artificial intelligence and campaigns, especially like with Meta, they really launched a new type of campaign called ASC Plus, where it's really targeting audiences using artificial intelligence, and that way it's really helping us to show the right content to the right person in order to lead to conversion.
Yeah, and that was actually going to be my next question, was how does all of this start to change with AI, which obviously it's been around for a bit, but it's really been mainstream for the last year. I think you started answering part of that question, but where do you see the bigger opportunity to further integrate it? Is it around personalization? Is it around like pricing? Like where do you see all the different, obviously as an e-com manager and an e-com lead, you have different parts of the business. You have to manage traffic, you have to manage conversion, you have to manage merchandising. Where do you think it's going to drive the most amount of value in your opinion?
AI is really, really helping us in driving conversion, because we've had, social media campaigns for a really long time. And we have traffic on the website. That's really not the problem. It's really easy to have to target to have someone visit your website, but to actually make that person stay on the website and make the purchase and convert, that's the difficult part for any e-commerce manager. So AI is really helping us direct and personalize the content that the person wants to see. So if I'm like looking for a certain product and I forget about it, and then just making sure that the right ads are targeting. I don't want to have like someone having an ad pop up that really they really don't care about, or they've never searched for this item in their lives. So we're really spending money for, and you're losing money for that because you're not targeting the right person. So I think AI is really helping us with conversion, and I think slowly really helping us in terms of merchandising, because as you know, merchandising is really takes up a lot of time from any e-commerce professional, because you're really spending a lot of time making sure that your website is updated, the products are showing correctly, the VM is looking nice. So with AI, if slowly, like I started seeing is where some websites are only showing you recommendations based on what you looked at before. And this really helps the work of a merchandiser become easier, because it really automate a lot of the processes that we're doing manually. So I think slowly AI will really help a lot of merchandisers in the e-commerce field.
That's really cool. And taking a bit of a pivot here, and I alluded earlier to it in our conversation that you're in the Middle East. So maybe talk to us a bit about e-com in the Middle East. A lot of our listeners, I would say the bulk of our listeners, are in North America. So maybe talk to us a bit about e-com in the Middle East and what your opinion is on from a high level, and how COVID kind of impacted it. So curious to hear your opinion on all of that.
Okay, I think e-commerce in the Middle East is a very new topic, relatively, if we compare it to North America, because the culture is completely different. People are really used to spending all their time in the stores, in the malls. They're really not used to like purchasing online. So we had some e-commerce, like people who are tech savvy, like millennials, Gen Z, who were purchasing online before COVID, but it wasn't really like a big thing up until COVID happened, and we really saw a lot of brands in the Middle East really rushing to create websites, because they never had an e-commerce website before in the Middle East. So this was really like a big change. A lot of luxury brands, especially, they really wanted to be online as fast as possible during COVID, because they realized like that was the only option then. And we really saw a boom in that in all countries, but in the Middle East, after COVID, it really impacted a lot, because we started seeing even like people who are from older generations also using e-commerce. But still, I think, in my opinion, it's still a big challenge to really have e-commerce compared to a brick and mortar store. So especially for luxury brands, because in the Middle East, people like the store experience. Especially when it comes to a luxury brand, they want to go to the mall. They want to have this very nice experience. You are welcomed. You're really treated well. You are offered coffee. And they like to have this experience where they see the item physically. They walk around in the mall. So the culture is completely different, because I don't know if you've been to Middle East or in Dubai. We really have large shopping malls where people spend their whole day there, and they don't feel the need like, okay, why would I go on an e-commerce website where I can just see the item and purchase it in store? So in my opinion, e-commerce should really work. It's not like a separate entity. It really, and every company who has an e-commerce website should really think from an omni-channel perspective on how the store and the website can come together and complement each other. So when someone goes to the store and they're really not sure about their purchase, maybe they can come later to the website and make the purchase, or maybe someone is too lazy to go to the mall and they check the item online, but they want to try it later on in the store. So there really should be like this omni-channel experience where customers don't feel like, oh, I went to the store, but then on the website you have completely different products, or it's a different experience in terms of returns. So if I buy something online, I cannot return it in the store. It should really like flow naturally. It should really feel like an extension to the store. And I feel like this is something that Fendi is doing very well. For me, working in this really big luxury brand, we're really working on this, enhancing this omni-channel experience. For the Middle East, I think the challenge is that a lot of people are still not tech savvy, especially order generations. So whenever they're trying to place an order online, they require help. So they contact our customer service. How can I place this order? What to do? How, like, we've had questions like, what is a CVV? So people are really not used to purchasing online. Especially in countries like KSA, where they're really used to paying cash in cash. They're not used to like using their credit card a lot. So it's really like, it's growing a lot. Of course, people, millennials, then we are really like, they know the e-commerce game. Even in the Middle East, they're really like comfortable with it. But it's about also older generations who really, we really like are getting into it, but it's still a struggle. And especially more of a struggle for luxury brands. Because people, they're still like, they're afraid to spend this big amount online. They'd rather go to the store and make sure, okay, this is the piece I want. Because of course, we have a lot of fraud. We have a lot of people, like scamming people. So they are scared. They think, okay, if maybe I place this order online, I will get scammed, or my credit card info will be stolen. So there's still this culture where people are scared in the Middle East to really purchase online. So for us, I think any luxury brand operating in the Middle East need to reassure their clients when they come to the store, talk about how important, the fact that we have a website, they can purchase anytime. And I really believe, in my opinion, that any e-commerce website need to have like this added, incentive, so that, especially in the Middle East, because if you're offering the same items that are in the store and there really isn't any incentive, like maybe a small welcome code or maybe a sample or a gift with the purchase, people are not gonna have this big tendency to, okay, I will purchase it online. So in my opinion, I think it's important to have the little added, benefit of, purchasing online. Because when you think about it, if you're really spending all your time in the mall and you can go to any store and purchase something, so why would I want to go online? The number one reason is if I don't want to go to the mall that day, I want to stay at home and have the peace. But of course, you have to ensure that the item is arriving as soon as possible, that they're not having a long waiting time. So fast delivery is very important. And the second reason is why I would purchase something online is maybe I couldn't find it in the store, and it's something that's exclusively online, or my size was not there and I found it online. So these are the two main reasons. And if we're not able to satisfy these two reasons, then you need to have any added incentive, like I said, like welcome code, samples, or you get this small gift with your purchase. So this is how I think e-commerce should be looked at in the Middle East. So of course it's growing, but you really need to think about how we can make it better to cater to the Middle East audience.
That's cool. These are wonderful, wonderful insights. And as we look to wrap up, what do you think some of the unique challenges are for people in your role this year? And it could be particular to the Middle East market or just in general in e-commerce.
I will answer the question in two parts, in general and in the Middle East, because it's, I think, different challenges. So in general, I think any person in the e-commerce space in a luxury industry would be facing is the fact that there's a lot of competition out there, and people are not really looking for the like the most branded like logos. They're more like we're seeing a lot of quiet luxury that's really trendy right now. People are looking for very like specific pieces that they see on social media and on celebrities. And for me, we really see like some SKUs that are really not really the most like iconic pieces for the brand, but they're the most trendy that are really our best sellers. And it's really hard for us to try to sell other items, other categories, or cross sell, because everyone wants this one piece. And we're really trying to have people, like retain our clients and to provide other offerings as well. So I think this is a challenge. Of course, another, general challenge is to convert people and to really localize and customize your e-commerce website to your audience. So I think this is very important, especially like since I'm in the Middle East. We really worked a lot on making sure that our e-commerce website is really targeting our Middle East audience. Of course, this is an ongoing challenge because, of course, when you're operating a very it's a worldwide brand, but you want to cater it to this local market, it can be challenging because you have specific guidelines. You need to adhere to the company, worldwide guidelines. So for me, it was really important to make sure that we are catering to Middle East. So what we did is we had an Arabic version of the website. This is the first thing we did. And definitely always making sure that we are targeting our audience in the right channel. So if we see our clients are using a certain social media platform more than others, we're really targeting our efforts toward this. And since most of our customers are in the store, so also in the Middle East, so as we really consider the store as a channel to drive our clients for e-commerce. So that's a big challenge for me as a e-commerce professional in the Middle East. How we can make sure that client is not only a brick and mortar customer, but also a Fendi customer with all the whole omni-channel experience, including how we can make him also like the online store and make it feel like, okay, this is also another Fendi store that I can visit from.
Awesome. Well, I think that takes us to the end. Thank you so much. It was a phenomenal episode. Really appreciated your time, Ghiwa, and I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did.
Thank you so much. And it was very nice for you to have me. I really enjoyed this talk.
Awesome.
The e-commerce toolbox Expert Perspectives is brought to you by Noibu. To find out more about Noibu and how we can help you debug your e-commerce site and rocket your revenue, visit www.noibu.com. That's Noibu.com. And then make sure to search for the e-commerce toolbox Expert Perspectives on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found, and click subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. On behalf of the team here at Noibu, thanks for listening.